Hello, beautiful souls. I'm in a swap with Ida Martinez here on YouTube, and that is her YouTube name. Hi, Ida, because I know you're peeking. Hi. I had suggested that we make a flip tag, make two charms, or alter something into a charm, and excuse me, and make two embellishments. It doesn't matter what the embellishments are. And this is my first installment of the swap. This is my flip tag. I didn't add any goodies to here. I did 7 tags. And I know Ida was having a difficult time with her tags, so she doesn't do shabby chic. And she did 4 tags and it was super duper chunky. So Ida, the trick is to use flat embellishments. I used a lot of my heavy fat embellishments I did on the front. I used flatter embellishments in the inside, like lace and appliques and the ribbon roses, because you can flatten them. And that's how I was able to do 7 tags. I was going to do 9, and I decided no, because this is going to be housed in something that I'm going to show in a moment. So I did 7 tags. So the trick is, Ida, is to use flat embellishments. I use flat back pearls. You know, I didn't use ones that were 2-dimensional. I might have used 1 or 2, but that's pretty much it. I use very tiny pearls so that it won't be too bulky either. And of course, I had to embellish with lace. There's different kinds of lace in here. And I did it towards the bottom, so nothing is too bulky up here. Alright, Ida, so that is the trick. I had to figure that out too as I went along, and I realized, let me use the flatter stuff. So I built from there, and when I saw that it was, you know, getting a little bit too much, I said, okay, that's it. So I did the lace first, then I embellished it with the ribbon roses. I flattened them out. Anyway, you'll see as I flip, you know, as I do the flip. For this, I used 2 different tags. I used a coordinating tag from Hot Off the Press. I used the die and the stamp. I used this one. And I also I alternated between the tags, and I used this one. I used the largest ones out of both sets. Okay, so here I made this frame using a mold, and I used the polymer clay to make the frame. I cut out an image of a bird and put it in here. I also used, I incorporated 2 papers. I used Gilded Lily from Graphic 45, and I also used Prima Tales of You and Me. Yes, those are the 2 that I used. I wanted to keep it vintage. I wanted to cater to you, Ida, because I know you like vintage. So, but I also love the Gilded Lily, which is shabby chic. So I actually used both papers, and they worked really well together. I got images online. I actually redid her face. I got another image and edit her face into the Marie Antoinette image. I wanted her face to be softer. I didn't care for the face that it had on there, and you know, it was very, very pale, so I wanted something that had more color. And I dressed up her dress. I embellished her dress a little bit more. I added glossy accents to this. It has, you know, a little bit of bubbles, but it's not that bad. And I embellished it with some roses and added some glitter to that. So there was a stamping and cutting here. This is layered 3 times. It has the paper. I used manila folder for the middle part, and then the paper on the other side. And the back is plain. And Ida, you know, I know that she doesn't like covering pretty paper, which I didn't. You'll see as I, you know, flip through this, you'll see that I did not cover the pretty paper. I don't like covering pretty paper either, and I don't like too many heavy embellishments on a pretty paper because that does defeat the purpose of the pretty paper. Excuse me. So the pretty paper is still showing, and since I did stamping on the tags, you'll see the stamping too. It is so gorgeous. It really is. Okay, so this is the first page. Do I want to say anything else about this? No, and I layered it with lace behind her. So the theme I went for was Marie Antoinette. I hope you like Marie Antoinette because I love her story. You know, there are things in there that they're saying are not so nice about her, but who knows what the truth really is. But I love her story and I love her boldness. So I believe she was empowered for her time, and that's what I love about her. Okay, so that's that. So this is the other tag. See how I just embellished it on the bottom, and I kept it with the flat roll, you know, with the ribbon roses that you put glue on it and then you flatten it, and the tiny pearls. And I layered this twice here, and then it has a lace on the other side. But you can still see the pretty paper, and then you can see the stamping. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love that stamp and die set, both of them. So I will show you the other side once we finish with this side. This has a pocket. I did a swap with Scrap the World, Tamika, that we had to do 2 pocket tags. And I took that same idea and put it here. And I put the embellishment here on the side as opposed to the middle. So this is a pocket. And you see how you still can see the pretty paper? You can put your picture in here. Look how pretty this one is. See, flat. And it just has this embellishment and that one. That's pretty much it. And then I have a flat back pearl here, which has a little bit dimension. But it's still, it's not as chunky, see? And this is the graphic 45. I backed it up with cream cardstock. And this is a belly band. This also opens up. I'm not going to open this one up because this is in the way and I would have to fidget, you know, to close it back. But I will show you that in another one, because all of these tags have where this actually opens. And then there's this one with a pocket, and all of these have pockets also. There's only one that has pockets on both sides, but the rest of them only has pockets on one side. And this is a dimensional embellishment, but I only did like maybe like 2 or so of these, so it kept it, you know, less chunky. And there's that. This one. Excuse me. And then that one. I will flip it this way. Okay, this one I can open up for you. So this opens up. Oh, this one untied here, huh? Okay. This was tied with a bow. And this is a belly band. This opens up. This has a decorative cut here. And it opens up like that. You can still see all that pretty paper and the stamping. Okay, and then it just ties up in a bow. One ribbon is longer than the other, and I do that to keep it even. So since I start off my bow on this side, the longer side has to stay on this side. So I keep the longer one here. And then I tie my bow. Since this is going to wrap, that takes more of the ribbon. So that's how I keep it even. Okay. And this one I just left it plain. It's pretty. It doesn't need anything. Just add your picture. You can add it, you know, your flat embellishments on top of your pictures too if you want to add more. There's that one with this embroidery trim. There's this one with the pocket. There's a graphic 45 also. This is, I've used Tales of You and Me to make the tags, the flip tags, and then these I use the graphic 45. And you're supposed to add goodies to this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add it separately. I may add, you know, a few things here and there, but we'll see. And this is the Marie Antoinette. So it had the white cardstock, so I just distressed it with tea dye ink, and then I stamped it. That was the front, and I showed you the back. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to give you a preview of where I'm going to house this. I made a trinket box in the shape of an armoire. I'm not going to go into details with that because on the next segment I will show, I will go more into details in how I made this. This is my own design. I drew it out and then I edited it, and then I put it in the Brother Scan and Cut Design Space website, and that's how I was able to cut these out, cut this out. I will have kits. I will have a pattern where you can just buy the pattern and cut it manually, and I will also have kits where it's already cut, and all you got to do is put your own design paper on there and assemble it yourself. I have it where it's shaped up here just like this, but on the kits I will not have that because this is a little bit complicated. If you can figure that out on your own, then by all means do so. But what I'm going to do is on the kit, I'm just going to have it where it's completely, you know, like a box, where this is flat all the way around, because this was a little complicated. And that's the bottom. I still got to, you know, finish it off on the inside. This is my own digital design paper that I created, and I put a hook in here. There's an eyelet here. This is glued down with goop, which is equivalent to E6000. It's much cheaper. You can buy that at Home Depot. It's more economical, and it comes in a big fat tube for a lot less. So that's what I use. And I glued that down here. I made this hook, and it's super duper sturdy. And this is what's going to go in here. It's going to be hooked in there, and that's how it's going to be. And I assembled this before I even did the tags. So this measures 4 inches deep. When I do the kits, they're not going to be as deep. They're going to be a lot more slimmer. So Look how pretty that looks in there. So I'm not going to include the goodies in here. You're supposed to put, you know, like goodies and stuff in here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that separate. I've also made this caddy. And this was done with the cutout. Once my brother scanned and cut the pieces out, I had this piece left over, and I cut this out twice for sturdiness, so I had 2 of those pieces. So what I did was I took it, I made it dimensional, and I just shortened one, so now it's a little caddy. This is going to be included for Ida. And I also made, which I haven't assembled yet, this dresser. This is also going to be a kit or a pattern. So this is going to be like a whole complete set that I'm putting together for her. And I used to make, this reminds me of when I was a little girl, I used to make 3-dimensional dressers and stuff like that for my Barbie dolls when I was little. So that's just in my blood. That's just in me. I'm also going to include these other Marie Antoinette. I Mod Podge these, Ida, so that you don't really have to do anything. You might want to back it up, even though I printed out in 110 cardstock. Once I Mod Podged it, it became a little bit, you know, flimsy, and so you may want to back these up when you want to use them in your projects, which I know you're good, you know. I know you like quality stuff anyway, so I don't really have to tell you that. So yeah, so my theme is going to be the graphic 45 with the Tales of You and Me vintage for you, Ida. The next time you see this will be embellished. This will be in here, and I will have my charms in here as well. I'm going to hang the charms off of the door. Okay, so this is going to be embellished. I'll give you a preview of some of the embellishments that I'm going to put in here. I have molds, and I have videos on ready-made molds and handmade molds or homemade molds, and you know, the different clays. I have segments on that. That's linked in the description box below. So I'm gonna probably put that up here. I wanted to make it look like if it was, you know, antique and, you know, from back in the day, or Marie Antoinette's day. So I'm gonna put these probably here, and I'm gonna add this here. It's gonna be very, very pretty. And I have these little bits, you know, that broke off from, like, you know, like pieces like that. Like, you know, these parts broke off. So I have these little bits that maybe I'll incorporate it on here. I'm not sure yet. And one more thing. I have made some Tilda charm dolls. So since I had this one already, and she's dressed like Marie Antoinette, I'm going to include this, you know, as a charm. Of course, I still got to do her hair and, you know, put her face on and stuff like that. So, this is for you too, Ida. So I'm going to decorate her also, make her into a charm. All right. So that's it for now. This is my first installment, first series of a few series of my swap with Ida Martinez. All is well. Let's share, be fair, be filled with love, love one another. Take care, everybody.